We had a splendid weather report, sunshine and everything was all right. Before we knew it, we were in a terrific snowstorm and were forced down. I finally found the river where I landed. The right floe broke off. We were taken by the river around the bend and stopped on a sandbank in the middle of the river. The water, of course, was ice cold, but we got ashore all right and we started walking. About 1 hour's walk, we suddenly struck a farmhouse, and of course were very kindly received by the farmer there.
37 years later, Colonel Sevi Bulligan is reunited with the farmer at that same house in Iceland. Not as a downed pilot seeking shelter, but as co-leader of an international team to raise the Northrop. Icelanders, Norwegians, British and Americans make up a recovery team, which is reminiscent of the Allied effort the Northrop supported during World War II.
We established the 330 Norwegian Squadron in Iceland. We had altogether 18 aircraft.
The aircraft was designed for operations in Norway along land or inside of land over smooth waters.
Instead, we operated from Iceland. We were flying 6-hour sorties into the ocean with a single engine. We implicitly trusted this aircraft.
With new war machines, the 330 Squadron flew into the desperate battle for the North Atlantic.
Well, our main task with the N-3PB from Iceland was involved with protecting the Russian convoys through the Danish straits and against U-boat attacks and long-distance German reconnaissance aircraft.
On the beach, the Northrop was its own hero.
Oh, it was very hard to work on this aircraft, you see, because no hangars, no nothing. And we had to refuel and do all the maintenance in open air. It was always soaking wet, you know, and always freezing. Oh, it was really horrible up there, you know.
After 8 days, 7 tons of gravel, metal, and sand is hoisted above the river surface. For the last Northrop, time and nature have proved formidable foes. On its homecoming, the Northrop returns the corporation's namesake, and the last of its first.
Assignment now is to restore the N-3PB. We currently have 88 volunteers who total some 1,800 years of experience. We'll be starting to work on the airplane tomorrow, and our volunteers will work evenings and on weekends.
On the design board, it was called the N-3PB, the new Northrop Company's first production aircraft. Without design drawings that have been lost for years, volunteers must challenge time to preserve an aircraft that is complete only in photographs.
And in that capacity, I was doing two things, both as the company photographer at the time and also doing some flight test engineering work. We rented a motorboat so we could go out on the taxi tests and follow the airplane up and down the lake.
At Lake Elsinore, California, on November 1st, 1940, the Northrop made its maiden flight. Clocked at 257 miles per hour, it was now the world's fastest military seaplane. Only a record-setting 8.5 months had passed from design to first flight.
I started working at Northrop in May of 1940. The atmosphere at Northrop was a team working together to accomplish the job. Mr. Northrop was the best designer in the business.
Among the volunteers, 9 members of the original Northrop production team combined skill and memories to rebuild a legend.
I first worked on the N-3PB in 1941. When I first heard that the N-3PB had been found and was being recovered, I became interested in it. And then I got to thinking, well, maybe there's something that my wife could do on it. So she works with me now.
Kind of a sanding, you know, with the drill, the old rust and the paint off is certain parts are going to save, and other parts are using for pattern.
With a ground rule to use as much of the original as possible, the team's progress comes slowly. As if working in reverse, major parts are carefully disassembled or reassembled. Side by side, the new fuselage takes shape from much of the original. State-of-the-art techniques have changed considerably, and only craftsmanship can span time for the duplication of old parts. Another kind of search for the Northrop intensifies. With all original drawings lost, engineers must consider any leads to gather design data. The approaches are numerous, from eye judgments to precise measurements and computer-aided design. Combining the best of new and old technology, the team is unified by its mission. A breakthrough occurs. Over 1,800 N-3PB drawings are discovered on microfilm. The find answers the mystery of missing parts still buried under an Icelandic river bottom. The lost art of fabricing is brought to life by seasoned hands. And some new ones. The jigsaw puzzle is complete, and the Northrop mirrors a ghost from the past.
Northrop is proud of its heritage, proud of our involvement in this airplane, because this was the birth of the company. This finally restored aircraft is a testament to the labors of all of you that made it possible.
I must admit that when we finally got the aircraft out of the river, I almost went back to Norway, because I thought that there will never be an aircraft out of this damn thing. Gee, I wish I would be able to fly it today.
The past has been reconstructed, and people have come together, some from another time and place, to remember the Northrop.